Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's March 14th, 2021, and today I thought I'd share with you my thoughts and experiences with signing up for and receiving the first Moderna vaccination to help to deal with the pandemic that we're all experiencing. But first, I thought I'd step back and share a bit of my own history. So I'm retired now, but before I retired, I was an internal medicine specialist in veterinary medicine. So that basically means that when a general practitioner had a case that was either challenging or needed very specific procedures done or needed to be hospitalized and receive blood transfusions or have further analysis by cardiologists and so on, they'd come to a referral hospital where I worked. And many of the cases that I had were critically ill patients. And it wasn't relatively uncommon as a specialist to write discharge statements and speak with the referring veterinarians and make suggestions that I didn't think that particular pet should receive any vaccinations in the future. And the reason for that was that I anticipated that the immune-mediated disease process that was going on, whether it was immune-mediated hemolytic anemia, immune-mediated thrombocytopenia, or other immune-mediated diseases that affected the central nervous system, that affected the kidneys, that affected the red blood cells or some of the white blood cells and so on, that something was triggering their immune system to attack self. So that's an immune-mediated disease process. And this can cause immune-mediated polyarthritis where the joints get swollen. There's a whole variety of different disease manifestations that can happen as a result of one's own immune system attacking self. It's like friendly fire. The military is attacking its own citizens. And we, in those circumstances, don't want to do things that would stimulate the inappropriately acting immune system so that it wouldn't further exacerbate. And sometimes patients need to be on immunosuppressive drugs to keep the offending self-immune system from attacking self. And I know I'm really butchering this, trying to make this as simple as possible. But in many cases, people would think of me as could potentially think of me as being anti-vaxxer. So I would like to say now we have many different pets. We've had pets for many, many years, and they're all vaccinated. They're all dewormed, and we use the current information as far as adverse reactions to vaccinations as reported to the CDC and the American Veterinary Associations as well. So I really look at the science behind things before I make recommendations to patients. Now, I'm not making recommendations to anyone out there, but what I've done, Thea and I did yesterday, we went and got our first Moderna vaccination. Now, Moderna and Pfizer both have a relatively new technology for the manufacturing of their vaccination components that are delivered via the syringe. And it's a messenger RNA process. So in the past, there were all different types of vaccines that were the virus itself or bacteria, whatever it may be, would be attenuated, be less virulent, or it'd be subunits taking pieces of the virus. And there would be different adjuvants, things that would help that the immune system have longer memory, if you will. And there have historically been relatively few adverse reactions to these different vaccinations. And so I've never been one who would discourage pets from getting vaccinated as long as they're healthy and they weren't receiving a whole boatload of vaccinations all at the same time or when they're sick, those sorts of things. Just using common sense. But those patients who had evidence of an immune-mediated disease process, I'd be very hesitant about provoking their inappropriately reacting immune system. Now, the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, I think, have shown significant efficacy, and given the pandemic, I think that it's very wise for us not only to practice good hygiene, social distancing, and wearing masks until everyone who can get vaccinated gets vaccinated appropriately. So I do believe that the vaccinations are the very best thing that we should be thinking about doing. And if you have evidence of a prior immune-mediated disease process, then certainly speak with your doctor, your regular physician, your specialist, all of those people, and discuss the pros and minuses before getting any vaccination. So now on to the process that we went through. We got the notification, so both of us are over 60. Thea's an essential worker as well. So the vaccination sites may not, as they are in our county, may not just let anyone go and get vaccinated yet, because there's so many people that need to get vaccinated, and there's only so much vaccine available at this time. But because we're both over 60, Thea's an essential worker, we went to our Oswego, when we live in Oswego, New York, so we went to the Oswego County Health Department website, and there's lots of excellent information on probably all of your county health sites, health department sites, websites. And you can read about the various vaccines and all. And I think definitely the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines really look good. I'm still waiting for more information on the Johnson & Johnson, but there certainly is the advantage of a single dose, and it seems to be very protective as well. So all three of them look to be very good to me. I'm a big proponent of the newer technology, the Moderna and Pfizer. I don't like that they've got to be handled with, they need such stringent handling requirements, meaning the ultra cold temperatures that they have to be maintained at for delivery. But I think everyone's doing a good job, especially based on our experiences yesterday. So we went on the website. Sorry, I'm jumping around here a bit. We went on the website and we clicked on getting ready to sign up, and it goes through all of the questions, you know, your age, your sex, your health status, are you one of the essential workers, all of those things, and have you had any adverse reactions. I can't remember all the questions were, but they were all appropriate questions, and you go through a few pages of answering those questions. And that's only if there's a vaccine appointment available. And so the night before last, we were able to get Thea signed up for I think it was 10 o'clock in the morning or 10:05. And they're basically every 5 minutes a new appointment. And I tried and tried and tried all night and I was just very happy because Thea's still working. I'm retired. It wasn't as essential that I get it. But just before we were getting ready to, she was getting ready to go get the vaccine, another appointment opened up just 10 minutes before hers. So I was able to get the information set up, get all the data put into the website, got the appointment. Everything really went smoothly. I could see where people could get frustrated having to constantly refresh the page to get an appointment, but it really went pretty darn smoothly with it, and that was the most challenging part of the whole experience. Then we showed up at our site, which was the Fulton High School location. And they had everything from the people controlling the traffic to the parking lots. The information that we printed off and received on the website was all very well planned out. The traffic at the location, the people were very courteous. We parked in the appropriate location. We went in at the appropriate time. They don't want you showing up early. We went in, and then you go through multiple checkpoints going through the process and maintaining social distancing, wearing a mask, and so on. And before even getting vaccinated, the flow of double checking, getting our license, getting our insurance cards out, going through the whole process, we're very impressed with just the beginning processes here. going through the entire line, following after person, and then you get in another line, which wasn't, this was flowing so well. Got into the final line to go into the room, which is a gymnasium, and they had the chairs in rows, and there were doctors walking around making sure people weren't experiencing any immediate hypersensitivity reactions at all. And so we each took our chairs and our appropriate lines, and you wait there, and there's people who control the flow of the people moving in and out. There's people who are the designated vaccinators. There are people who are the monitors. There's the assistants to the vaccinators. There's the paramedics to the side. There's the doctors. So the entire experience was absolutely amazing. And then the vaccinator comes up with the assistant there. They take the information that you were provided during the process going through the prior lines. And this was a steady flow. I don't want to make it sound like we were waiting at any point. The only waiting you really have is waiting for the vaccinator to get to your seat in a row, and then the wait afterwards to make sure that you're clear to go and you aren't experiencing any of the immediate hypersensitivity reactions that one would screen for, where you'd need an EpiPen or something like that, or Benadryl. So the nurse or the vaccinator gave us the vaccination, double-checked everything. They went on to the next person. You're given a card, you watch the clock up there, and you waited until that time, and then you could leave the seat, leave the card on the seat. Someone came in and totally disinfected that site before the next person sat down and all. I've got to say, it was the experience that both of us had going through that process was far better than anything I've experienced before, as far as being an organized event to take care of a tremendous number of people going through. And this was really one very busy place with lots of, I think there were probably 6 lines, so there were at least 6 vaccinators going continuously from chair to chair to chair, and then starting the line over again, and the assistants and the flow control people and the doctors and paramedics checking on you, making sure everything's going well. So, first off, I'd say I'm really happy that we were able to get the vaccinations. I'm really thinking very positively about this pandemic and the situation, that we've got some excellent vaccines out there. It looks like the government is appropriating the appropriate amount of funding to get these vaccinations in the arms of people, all who want them. And I really think that unless you have a really good reason not to take the vaccine, then I would say it's very, very valuable. Who knows how long our immunity will last with being given this vaccination? None of us know yet, but it's one of the ways of definitely reducing the number of individuals who are going to be transmitting this virus. And remember, these viruses can mutate, and unfortunately they can get to become much more deadly viruses through processes of mutations. So the more people that are out there getting appropriate vaccinations, that really reduces the transfer of this virus to other people as well. So our experiences were really, really great. Yes, we both have a little bit of a sore spot right where the injection was given. Another thing that happened, the person came up and gave us the paperwork for our follow-up second dose of the vaccine as well. So the experience was absolutely as good or better than the best that I could have expected. Really, really impressed. During these challenging times, Oswego County really got their act together, and I'm really happy to see that that's happened. And I hope that each one of you really consider getting the vaccine and taking care of yourself, taking care of your loved ones, and helping other people as well. By all of us being appropriately vaccinated, it's helping. It's self-care, earth care, people care, and future care. Let's take care of each other, folks. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. And if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And by all means, folks, take good care of yourselves and stay healthy. Bye-bye now.